CM 365, all about Carnatic music.
I had mentioned to you earlier about the Ariyakudi concert format, which has stood the test of time. But of course, artists are always trying to explore new avenues. And that is where the thematic concerts came about. And they have caught on very well. And you see that there are so many thematic concerts being held over the years. So today I thought I will discuss with you some of the interesting themes and how they have come to form a part of our concert format itself. The first, of course, is when I say Tyagaraja Aradhana at Thiruvayyaru. There itself, the thematic concept is adopted in the sense that since this is we are paying our tribute to the great composer, we see that all the participating musicians perform compositions only of Tyagaraja. Similarly, when there is a Dikshadhar Jayanti or a particular festival devoted to composers like Purandaradasar, Oothukade, or Koteeswara Iyer, or whoever it may be, then we see that all the compositions rendered are on that particular composer only. And in this context, I also remember the wonderful days when we used to go to Tirupunduruthi. We had one wonderful musician, Tirupunduruthi Sri Venkateshan, who would take all the artists from Madras to Tirupunduruthi to celebrate the Narayana Tirtha festival there. So there we see that though it was a small village and we were a small gathering, what was important is that all of us rendered only the compositions or the tarangams of Narayana Tirtha. Like this, when we are paying our tribute to a composer, these kind of thematic concerts come into go. The next kind of themes are, of course, based on various deities. We have different festivals in our Hindu calendar, so we may have concerts or festivals for Navaratri, Shivaratri, Gokulashtami, Ramanavami, and so on. So obviously when you are singing for a Navaratri, you would have all your compositions on goddess, that is Devi or Ambal. Of course, different composers will come to represent here, and you will have compositions on Devi by different composers. Or if it's Ramanavami, compositions on Rama by different composers will be there. And in this, I was also, this was a part of my PhD research. So I came to know that in the 70s itself, Saraswati Vagyakara Trust run by Sri N.V. Subramaniam organized a full-fledged thematic concert on the Ragam Thodi by the violin maestro Lalgudi Sri Jayaraman, where from beginning to end, Lalgudi Jayaraman sir played a number of compositions, but all of them were only in Todi. So like starting with the Todi Varnam, multiple kritis in Todi, and probably ending also with a Tillana in Todi. I would also like to make a mention of our own organization Mudra, which is indeed has been a pioneer in terms of creating so many novel themes for these thematic concerts. In fact, we were the first of our kind, I would say, in terms of presenting a whole music festival in the December season in 1995, where we had every concert was thematic and it was all performed by top-notch performers. After this, we have been organizing thematic concerts every year with the purpose of exploring the different avenues offered by our music, like the Tukada festival, where very, very interestingly, we had only Tukadas as part of the entire concert. Now, don't think that Tukadas are trivial, because all the musicians who performed in our particular festival, like even I remember the Bombay Sisters telling us that there were so many padams, javalis, and other priceless compositions which they had learnt, and they could never get an opportunity to perform in a normal concert, whereas in that Tukada concert, they were able to really bring out all those treasures and perform. Then we also had what we call as the Kalpita festival, which focused on mainly on the compositions and the different styles of compositions. Then we had what we call as the Rakti Ragas, like that we had a Tillana concert. And then another unique concept that we devised was called as the One Raga, One Kriti concert, which we really organized for many years, and it was very, very successful, where the artist has to be so fine-tuned that actually he should not be performing anything except that one particular ragam and one composition. So which means that it starts off directly with the raga alapana, sings an elaborate composition, maybe in a Rendikale, followed by a Neraval, Kalpana Swaram, and after that Taniyavartanam, and the concert ends. So there is no Pulyar Kirtana or Varnam or any such kind of a warm-up. So this requires really a lot of caliber on the part of the artist to hold the attention of the audience through just one particular composition. Indeed, a very, very challenging task, I would say. After that, we see that there have been many more such, some of them very, very offbeat kind of themes, like the Priya concert, which somebody organized. That is all the ragas with the suffix Priya, like Shanmuga Priya, Kokila Priya, Rama Priya, then you have Karahara Priya. Like this, all the ragams ending with Priya came to be a part of the concert. So these are all some very interesting themes, like otherwise you also have like Karunyam, then you have some offbeat like Vatsalyam. So compositions which depict these kinds of mood have been also be a part of the thematic concerts. Then of course, we also have the 4-hour concert. The 4-hour is not a theme, but then this was again a thematic in the sense that Mudra wanted to revive the old traditional format of the concert. Today we see that concerts have come to become for 1 hour, half an hour and all. But the expansive treatment that has to be given to each item can be done only when there is a lot of space and time. So these 4-hour concerts have come to form a part of our every Mudras festival for the past 27 years. And as a grand finale to every festival, the last day, we have this 4-hour concert by a leading musician. So that's another very, very interesting thing. Now, with technological advancement, we see that thematic concerts have taken a different twist and turn, I would say. Also, the COVID has contributed towards it, in the sense that I strongly believe that music is first primarily an oral medium. That is, the listening process is what makes for the enjoyment. Whereas now with the technological advancement, we see that music has become more visual than oral, in the sense that every artist, today instead of performing in the auditorium, they go to offbeat places like sitting in the seashore and performing concert, or sitting near the riverside and performing a concert, or sitting on top of the mountain and performing a concert. So where he gives a lot of visual imagery also to the listener. So it's a listener, or whether he's seeing, there the difference comes. My point is about whether you are listening to the music or seeing the music. Whether this kind of twist which has taken in terms of making music much more visual than oral, is it a boon or bane? I would like to know your opinion on this also.
CM 365, all about Carnatic music.